We can fight about your opinions. You woke up and just came here to the show. Cause it's a great debate.
Thanks, Dave. By just sound of applause, who has never done a great debate before? Okay. Welcome, welcome. So here's how it goes. We three hosts will put forward our candidates for who we think deserves to have the honorific of best fight. That's what we're here for today, right?
Yeah.
Great, didn't get it wrong. And then you in the audience will have a chance to make your case. You're gonna raise your hands like, you know, civilized folk, and we will call on you, and you will speak from the diaphragm so the whole room can hear you, and you have a little bit of time to make your case. If you're gonna do a deep book cut, we love those, but do the class a favor and sort of explain a little bit like why it's so cool. That's what you wanna do anyway. You're making your case for your pick. And then at the end, we will do voting by applause. Dave here will be what we call bracketing on the fly. He does amazing Insta brackets, and then we will do by show of applause in the room, and we will figure out once and for all what the best fight of Game of Thrones was. Right, Neil?
Yeah.
All right, did I miss anything?
No, that's it. That's how we do the game.
We nailed it. We nailed it. All right.
It's not a game. It's deadly serious.
It's very serious.
Especially for best fight.
So who wants to start?
I'll go first. I'm going to take a popular one off the board early.
Oh, wait.
Now I'm curious as to what you guys think it is. What is a good fight? It has to have good stakes, so you have to be fighting over something interesting, or someone interesting. You'd want honor to be involved in some way. So maybe a character with a ton of honor, and a character with a little bit of honor that we don't know yet.
Is this what happens when you don't come to the breakfast plan meeting?
Yeah, now I have to figure out a new one.
I would also say that a good fight needs a good location, so like a cliff of a mountain in Ireland might work. One character could be tossed off a cliff at the end. I'm thinking Brienne versus the Hound in season 4. Yeah.
Oh, you think that, but Neil never wins.
Yeah. So. Unless I nominate Oberyn, but.
So that brings me to mine. In a true great fight, you need to feel the momentum swing in one direction and then suddenly have the rug pulled right out from under your heart, ripped open. The teeth, as we mentioned in another debate, went skittering across the floor. The eyes were popped, our hearts were broken. Ilaria screamed, "It's Oberyn versus the Mountain." So that is my pick. Dave.
What makes a good fight? We talked about it, obviously, here. Neil thinks you need to be fighting for something. It's something important, like maybe an entire realm or something. And Joanna thinks there needs to be like a reversal, like say a king suddenly meets a rebellious person at the Trident. A fantastic location. And then I think my excellent bonus that might put me over the top is my nobody's actually seen my fight because it only takes place in the book in Robert's Rebellion where he fights the Trident and smashes some Targaryen armor so all the rubies plop off. Because that's how big and strong he was back in the day.
Just
do they plop? Do those rubies plop into the Trident?
Yeah, they plop.
Is that the word Martin used?
Yes, I think.
Then Rhaegar's rubies have plopped into the Trident.
The rubies fell like drops of blood into the waters of the Trident. But the reason I'm going to win is because a fight that you haven't seen is infinitely awesome if you picture it. So picture, you know, classic Bobby with the big antlers and the giant warhammer, and then like this beautiful ruby. Well, the plops come after, like rain. The first one's kind of like a crunch where he caves in his chest.
Sure, and then the plops.
Yeah, then the plops.
And then the plops.
Crunch plop.
Crunch plop. Trident. Great. So those are your three worthy candidates. Who wants to go first in the audience by show of hands? You have right there.
I'm going to do the ferocious fat fight between Oberon and Hot Pie from the Greatest Lovers of Westeros.
He is picked, for those of you who weren't here for the Best Lover in Westeros, it came down to Hot Pie versus Oberyn, and it was a tie. Yeah, you gotta be here sometimes in the room to understand how these things happen. I believe the argument was he brings the snacks.
He brings the snacks.
So there was no winner in that. It was a draw, our first ever great debate draw between Hot Pie and Oberyn. So, great pick. Thank you so much. Right there? Yeah.
Braun and Sardis.
Okay.
Trial by combat.
Sardis. You know, there was a moon door. Right over there.
Brienne and Arya, which was a spar.
Yeah. Brienne and Arya spar. I got you. Right there.
I'm gonna say sometimes a good fight just needs to be really deeply satisfying, especially in the show that does rip out our hearts so often. So I'm just gonna say Tyrion versus Joffrey. Because that infinite kiss.
Yeah. A slap fight. Right. Love.
The one-way slap fight.
Love a slap fight. Right over there. Yeah.
Jon Snow versus Ramsey.
Jon versus Ramsey. Shield. Love it. Right there.
Jon Snow and Arya versus the Night King.
Jon Snow and Arya versus the Night King. I'm gonna need you to explain that.
Arya, it would be a 5-second fight.
All right. Right back there.
The Mountain and the Hound.
Thank you.
Mountain and the Hound. The Gable. The Gable. Right over there.
All right. Sometimes with a great fight, you need big stakes. What could be bigger stakes than the literal heir to the Iron Throne? The winner gets the heir to the Iron Throne. I'm talking about Ned Stark versus Arthur Dayne.
Okay, Tower of Joy. Some dirty swordplay in that fight, if I recall. Right there. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna know it too. Jon Snow versus the White Walker at Hardhome, because it was the first time that we really realized as book readers or even show watchers that Valyrian Steel.
Right. That clang. What the fuck? Yeah.
Should we call him a Dusted Walker?
Sure. Dusty the Walker.
Dusty the Walker.
As he is known. It is canon. Love it. Right over there.
In terms of things that are deeply satisfying, Arya disarming Joffrey and throwing Lion's tooth into the water.
Yeah. Micah had to pay a pretty steep price for that fight, but yes. Oh, I'm too soon for the butcher's wife? Sorry.
They ran him down.
I didn't know. Anyone else? Right there.
I'd like to nominate Drogon and Rhaegal versus Viserion.
Oh, a Dance of Dragons. Yeah. What if I couldn't see that Dance of Dragons?
What? No, you just need to adjust your TV
Oh, I need to adjust my TV settings. Okay. Right over there.
How about Brienne and the bear and also Jaime?
And also,
The Bear, the Maiden Fair, and Brienne. Love it. Love that bear. Right over there.
Jorah protecting Dany at the very end. Oh,
Jorah versus all these zombies is just like.
yes.
Jorah uses his internal organs as a shield. No, wait.
at one point it does look like she throws him in front of her.
So Jorah's guts versus the White Walkers. Right there.
Jorah in the fighting pits against all the others.
Yes. Oh, and I was sure he was gonna die then, and then he didn't. It was great. Right there.
Probably one of the most individual badass moments when Khal Drogo drops his knives and fights, is it Mago or?
Yeah, there's tongue ripping.
Yes.
Yeah. And then a cut that doesn't heal well. Yeah. Right there. Liana versus the giant. Oh. No winners at that fight.
That one's more of a tie.
Right there.
Arya and the Hound versus the Lannister soldiers over chicken.
Yes. Chicken fight. Chicken fight. Morgan.
That one time that like Hot Pie like kicked the kid in the balls until he was dead. It might not have happened, but
Right. Morgan is high on her hot pie victory from the other debate. She's come back for a second.
Hot pie versus testicles.
Hot pie, an imaginary hot pie fight. Morgan, I don't think you're gonna be as successful today, but maybe.
I had to take a shot.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your shot. All right, right there.
1-1 versus the Night's Watch traders.
Yes. Very good. Right there.
Jon Snow and Night's Watch gang versus the White Walkers north of the Wall. We talked about that one already?
Like harder to home,
Is that what it's
or?
called?
Yeah.
Yep, all right, that one.
So you're yes anding hard home. Love it. Love it. Yes.
That one's nice.
Yes.
There's like 6 of them, they're fighting the White Walkers.
Yes. Oh no,
Oh, no, wait, beyond the wall?
The White Hunt. White Hunt. White Hunt. Yeah.
Gendry runs.
Yeah. Yes. White Hunt. The like, let's hang out in the middle of this lake all
No,
night.
we made up the name White Hunt in the sense they're hunting for a white, so it's not like...
WIGHT Hunt.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Wait, now it sounds weird. Now White Hunt sounds weird.
Now it's great. Back winner.
Darian Harris versus a lot of hubris and the rider on the outside of the walls.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
can call that one the pissing contest.
Melissa? Sam the Slayer. Sam the Slayer. No, you just have to nominate and then clap. That's it. Right there. Braun versus Dragon with the like Dragon Feller sort of thing. Okay? Yeah, I like that.
You just use Dragonfeller like that's it. Everybody knows that's what we call ballistas.
I call ballistas Dragon Fellers. Thought they were Dragon Feller. Alright, right there.
The Night's Watchman holding the gate during the Battle of Castle.
Gren!
They did that battle.
Nobody won that fight either. These are turning to a bunch of like, you know, when everyone died. In that one place. Right back in the middle there, yeah. All the way back.
Jorah versus Koto, when he catches his sword in his arm and chops it out.
Yeah. It is very dope. It's very dope. Right there. All the way back. Yes.
I think we should go back to the beginning.
Yes.
That's one-sided fight. Aegon and Balerion, the Black Drake, completely destroying Harrenhal.
Uh-huh. I love it. Some conquering stuff.
God versus Hall.
Remember when the like Harrenhal melted?
And then
the Red Keep sort of crumbled? And then we were like,
I don't understand the physics.
yeah, what is the effect of dragon fire on stonework? I don't know. Hello.
Hodor versus Door.
Is it the door's fault? Aw. Stuff. Right there.
Euron versus the Sand Snakes.
Right.
Where he kills them all with
their own
method.
weapon, yeah.
It's a little on the nose.
That's also, isn't that also the one where he just busts silence into the side?
Right.
It's like, yeah.
And then Theon's like, bye.
Euron versus the Sand Snakes is a good thing to call that fight. And there are a ton of cool things in that fight besides just the Sand Snakes, yeah.
Bye. All right. Right there in the back. Yeah.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Ned Stark and Jaime Lannister.
Yes. Well, yeah, poor Jory. Right there.
Sir Varys and Sally's last stand.
Oh, the alley fight. That's what I call it. The alley fight. Hey, he's alive in the book still fight. Right in the back corner.
Cersei's will versus Faith Militant.
Battle of the Wills for sure.
Do we want to, like, is it a septic explosion? Is that what we're doing?
Well, that's how it ends.
Sure. No tens. Right over there.
As long as we're talking Battle of the Wills, Sansa versus Ramsey.
Ooh, will battle's happening.
Ramsey versus the dogs.
The dogs are working for Sansa at that point, so it's all the same. Right there.
Summer and Catelyn versus
Yeah. Yeah. Right there.
Little bear who had more balls than most of the men against the white giants.
Okay, yeah, so that's a yes and for Liana and John.
This one's gonna be a strong contender,
Yeah,
I feel.
that is a yes and. Right there.
Ygritte versus Jon Snow when she's shooting him as he's...
Oh, and she's crying, he's crying, he's got the like, right there.
The owl guy?
Yeah.
It's not hand combat, so.
Sure, a lot of this isn't. It's okay.
Alana and Littlefinger versus Joffrey.
Oh.
There's a sneak attack.
A poisonous fight.
Satisfying end.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, love it. A lot of choking and drooling. Right there.
Jon Snow, Carl Tanner.
Yes.
Carl Tanner, Gin Alley.
Gin Alley Carl Tanner loves to drink from a skull. Who doesn't? Right back there.
This is also a concept, but my sense that the show was starting to lose some of its charm, but my will to need to see it through the end.
Good luck making that succinct.
Head versus heart?
Head v. heart. Love the viewership. Head v. heart. Right there.
The fight with Jon against like the red shirt dudes at Castle Black, defending like Sam's honor when Sam was like getting the shit kicked out of him.
Oh, in the beginning, like
training. Yeah.
when he's making friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, sticking up to bullies.
It's the bonding fight.
What a good boy. Right there.
Arya's prolonged, I would argue, like season-long fight against the wave, culminating in her.
Yeah, with running and the oranges and the like. How did she? Her ribs broken. She got stabbed
Also, I think
and then she like
lost half her blood.
in the river and like definitely got an infection, like 1000%. How did Khal Drogo die of an infection and Arya didn't? Swimming in that river. Right there again, yeah. Oh, book version, yeah. Chunk out of her face. Yeah, the books are good. Right there.
Tyrion versus Olenna in their battle of wits and
I love a wit battle, yes. Barbs, words. Right over there.
A little bit of a book deep cut, but Littlefinger versus Brandon Stark over Caitlyn.
Oh, yeah.
That's the perfect amount of deep cut, thank you.
Yeah. Poor little Peter. Frustrated, cucked Peter. I'm just trying to get a date. I don't use that word. All right. Right there.
George and Writer's Block.
Another word, book versus football music.
The books versus the Jets.
Games on. Writing versus the games on. All right, love it. Okay, right there.
Going back to Game of Cuts, Sam versus the Grayscale.
That is a deep. Actually, it's more like a shallow. It's like a skim. Yeah.
It's more of a light
That's how you know it's good.
A series of long scrapes.
Remember that cut from the like pot to the pie? Just wanted to make sure you remembered hot pie in all of this. Okay. You're welcome. How are we doing?
A lot of these are longer, but I'll just start to pass them over.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Just a few more? Right there.
Arya against like all the phrase.
Yes.
Another sneak attack.
Yeah. I almost nominated Arya like throwing the food at that first banquet in the pilot when she's so tired. But I think Arya and the Frey pie is a better Arya food fight than like the mashed potatoes or whatever she was throwing when she was a kid. All right, so just a reminder, the way the voting goes is I will let you know who the two people you're going to be voting for are in a sort of normal tone. And then I will go kind of Oprah and like yell the names out, and that's when you know to clap, to cheer, to stomp the floor, do whatever you want to make sure yours goes forward. So we are starting with, I don't know, it's sort of like a don't know how to make that connection. But anyway,
Some classics.
It's classics, but it's also like, I wanted to say mouth stuff, but we already established that means something else. But anyway, Tywin versus Olenna is a battle of wits, spars, words, barbs, all of that. Aegon versus Harrenhal is like a lot of dragon fire. That's where I was going, like mouth stuff. Anyway, so Aegon versus Harrenhal, Aegon the Conqueror versus Harrenhal, Tywin versus Olenna. So let's hear it for Aegon and Harrenhal. Tywin versus Olenna. And then we've got Arya and Joffrey on the King's Road when Lion's Tooth goes in the river and Micah pays the price. Versus Jon Snow versus the Dusty Walker, right? So hard home, basically. So let us hear it for Arya versus Joffrey on the King's Road. Jon Snow, holy shit, my Valyrian steel sword. Okay.
Wait, did you put which one won?
No, because I need a pen. Thank you. Does anyone have a pen in the audience?
I'll get my other pen.
Thank you. Yeah, great. Okay.
Oh no, there's not another pen.
Thank you, Katie. Katie got his pen. All right. Oh, thanks, Dave. 2 Jorah fights.
That's not even all the Jorah fights.
Wow, so many Jorah fights. Jorah's fight against changing his wardrobe. All right, so we've got Jorah versus the Harpies in the pit, which he should not have won, but he like definitely did. He's like, come at me, I got you. Versus Jorah and his guts and the White Walkers at the end, which or the Whites at the end, which he did not win. So the battle he shouldn't have won, but he won, and the battle he shouldn't have won, and he didn't. And then Davy cried, and then Drogon curled her up like a cat. Okay. All right. So, let's hear it for Jorah versus the Harpies in the pit. Jorah's last stand.
This is a good one. All right, so this is. These two don't really go together. Let's be honest. The first one is Liana Mormont versus the Giant, that ends in a draw. And Dario Naharis versus the guy peeing outside Marine, the pissing contest. So let's hear it first for Dario Naharis versus the peeing guy. Things you never thought you'd say. Liana versus the Giant.
That's a win for Guts and a win for the Giant. Well, really Liana. Okay. We have Jorah versus Blood Rider, season 1, versus the nice book fight, Brienne versus Spider. He took a chunk out of her face. He bit it.
He bit a knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
I mean,
How dare you?
she wasn't a knight yet. All right, so let's hear it for Jorah versus the Blood Rider. Oh, Brienne versus Spider. He loved only cat. And he was shit out of luck because she would rather any Stark versus him. It's Littlefinger versus Brandon Stark for the hand of Catelyn. And then it's an imagined hot pie fight. So,
say the name.
Hot pie v testicles. So if you want to vote just the chaos vote, which is hot pie. That's fine. We respect that. If you want to make Dave happy and keep Littlefinger in the bracket, you can vote for Littlefinger versus Brandon Stark.
I'm gonna be happy with whoever stays.
Yeah, testicles or Littlefinger, it's all good. All right, so let's hear it for Littlefinger. Let's hear it for testicles.
Dark Horse Hot Pie.
Testicles? All right. Just ready.
Hot Pie continues to really be surprising. In all of these.
We've got two Sam fights here. We've got Sam the Slayer, where he earned his tremendous nickname, shattering that White Walker. And then we've got the time that he just sort of scraped some grayscale off of Jorah. Yeah. Scrape. The scream and the stick and the screaming. Yeah, all right, so. Sam versus grayscale. Sam versus the White Walker. Okay. All right, okay. So we're gonna do Ned Stark versus Jaime Lannister, where you might remember Jory gets in the eye, there's a leg wound involved. A great coat for Jaime though, like love that season 1 coat.
Good Jaime look.
Oh, so good. And then we've got the alley fight, which is Sir Barristan versus the Sons of the Harpies. So I feel like there's a lot of lancing involved in these two fights. So let's hear it for Ned Stark versus Jaime Lannister. Sir Barristan and the Harpies. I'm not surprised. Comic Thrones loves Sir Barristan. This is something we know. Book readers love Sir Barristan. We have the season-long battle of Arya versus the Waif, which involves a lot of running, jumping, climbing trees.
Some of which was connected while Arya was blind.
Yes.
So
bear that in mind.
There's
There's
level of difficulty.
Points for difficulty. Versus Jon versus the Night's Watch bullies. These are both like Waif and the Night's Watch are both like.
It's like training.
Yeah, training, but like real dicks.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to this really hard thing we do. You don't belong here. I'm gonna make it worse for you.
It's the worst unpaid internships of Westeros.
Yeah. Exactly. So we've got Jon versus the Night's Watch bullies. Oh, everyone loves a citrus fight. Arya versus the Waif.
This one has a lot of O's in it.
It's a D's. D's and O's.
A lot of D's, a lot of O's.
D's and O's.
In this bracket. The first one is Sir Bronn of the Black Water and his giant dragon feller versus Drogon and his giant Drogon-ness.
Yeah.
And Hodor versus the Door. See, I told you guys, lots of O's.
And D's.
And D's. All right, let's start with Hodor versus the Door. And then the one that ends with Drogon being a badass, Bronn versus Drogon.
Jordan Flynn cast his vote for.
Oh. I don't know, I want to hear that one again. Guys, really just gotta hoot and holler for your side. I am saying you didn't hoot or holler loud. I know it's early. Get your hooting muscles warmed up. All right, so Bronn versus Drogon. Hodor versus the Door.
Okay, I think we're all awake now.
Yep, we got it. All right, got Ned Stark versus Arthur Dayne. Bran's like, that's not how I heard it. What? And then Bran and Jaime and the bear. So, you know, the pink dress is torn. The bear's like, Jaime comes back. I'll save you. All right. So, Ned Stark versus Arthur Dayne. Bran, Jaime, bear. You guys heard Nick Lancaster while left in the building, didn't you? Euron versus the Sand Snakes. You know, with the like whip hanging and the, oh, that's very bad. Versus Arya and the Hound versus the Lannisters over some chicken. So it's chicken fight versus sand snake fight. Snake fight, chicken fight, all right? So let's hear it for chicken fight! Let's hear it for snake fight!
Sand snakes almost had it. Again.
The story of the sand snakes.
Yes.
Almost. Kinda. All right. So 1-1 versus the Night's Watch Trader. That's when he comes in. He's just like, ugh, against the wall. And then Bran versus Arya spar. So I don't know what Dave has against 1-1 that he put in this bracket because I think I know how this is gonna go. But all right. So let's hear it for Brienne and Arya. 1-1 versus the Night's Watch Traders. You know how that was gonna end.
Forever in the sea of our hearts.
Oh. The top one?
Yeah.
So we have Gren and his vow-remembering group versus the giant.
Yeah, the sword in the darkness. Yeah, the watches on the wall.
And then we have Jon Snow and Arya versus the Night King. Which I still feel is more of like an Arya versus the Night King.
Yeah, the wording is executive privilege.
Yeah. Jon Snow's more of a side situation. That's a panel later. Did Jon help? All right.
Jon got his stabs in. I'm not saying he did no stabbing. He just didn't do that stabbing.
All right, up first, let's hear it for Gren and company versus the Giants. Now let's hear it for the moment that made all the bars in America go crazy. Arya versus the Night King.
Closer than I would have thought, but yeah, that's an Arya. That's an Arya win. She always wins. All right. We've got the Dance of Dragons, provided that your TVs were on the right settings and you could see it in the long night. Versus Jon Snow versus Carl Tanner. So, Carl Tanner of Gin Alley, equivalent villain to Zombie Viserion, in my opinion. All right, so let's hear for the Dance of Dragons. Jon Snow versus Carl Tanner. Yeah. All right. Okay, these are both like nice, queenly long cons, is what I would say. We've got Queen of Thorns, Lady Olenna, and Littlefinger versus Joffrey. So like, they had to get the poison, put it in a stone, put it in her necklace, be like, oh my dear, oh plop, you know, like all of that. Purple Wedding. Yeah, a lot of plopping.
The Purple Wedding poison plot.
Yeah. Versus Cersei versus the Faith Militant, which we all know how that ended. How did it end, Neil?
With a giant explosion.
Sure did. So it's plop versus explosion from the Queen. So let's hear it for, well, I'm just gonna call it Purple Wedding. Purple Wedding! Let's hear it for Sept Explosion!
Sept Explosion.
I think so, yeah. But it was, I think Purple Wedding had like some bass in it, but I think Sept was actually clear there. Okay. That time Khal Drogo ripped someone's tongue out of his like throat entirely. It was disgusting that time. Then he died. Versus the trial by combat of Bronn versus Servatus in the Vale, the Moon Door. So these are some early season 1 fights. So Khal Drogo tongue fight. Moon Door trial by combat. I hope you all got paid by Jerome Flynn. All right. Tyrion versus Joffrey with the slapping. The beautiful, beautiful royal slaps. Versus our great debate of Oberyn versus Hotpie for best lover. So it's the Joffrey slap versus the great debate from yesterday. So let's hear it for the Joffrey slap. Let's hear it for the great debate.
Saw it going differently in my mind.
Tell us how you really feel. All right. I don't know why he didn't call this Ruby Plop. He called it Bobby B at the Trident, but this is
Ruby
Dave.
Plop's better. That's fewer words to write down on these brackets.
Yeah, okay. So Ruby Plop at the Trident. It's Rhaegar. Oh, that's sad. Okay. Versus the White Hunt. W-I-G-H-T Hunt. What are we, like, are we counting, like, zombie polar bear? Are we counting Daenerys swooping in? Or is it just, like, the bros in their dragon glass and, like, hypothermia? What are the parameters? The whole thing?
Or maybe when they go to catch the white, and they have to fight off the White Walker.
Okay, and there's a bag
Yeah.
and, like, stuff. Okay.
Right.
So that
That's
fight.
what I was talking about.
Okay, great.
They're like dying those.
Yes, well, that's
Well, then
different.
they run.
Yeah.
Remember the running?
I do remember the running.
Yeah.
Before she does.
And then someone throws a rock, but like, why?
The Hound is bored. There's no chicken.
He throws a rock and then it's like, whoops, you gave them an idea. All right. So, Ruby Plop. White Hunt.
I mean, I feel like Gendry didn't run that 5K for nothing.
All right. Sorry, bud.
Ooh. Maybe he did.
All right, we've got Sansa versus Ramsey, the long struggle that ended with... No one nominated Kibble Bolton versus the dog.
Kibble didn't put up much of a fight.
No. All right. So it's Sansa versus Ramsey, and then on the other hand, we have Head versus Heart, fair for fans of the show. Do I quit or do I keep watching? Head versus Heart. Okay, so let's hear it for Sansa versus Ramsey. And Head versus Heart. You thought you'd go up against the Queen of the North and win? No. All right, George versus Writer's Block.
Poor guy.
There's always a football game somewhere. Versus Summer and Catelyn versus the Cat's Paw Assassin. So, Catelyn, Direwolf, Bran, sleeping, Cat's Paw Assassin. All right, so let's hear it for George versus Writer's Block. So, Ygritte versus Jon Snow. Remember, she's crying, he's crying, arrows, scratches on face, that whole thing that happened. Versus Jon Snow caving Ramsey's face in after the Battle of the Bastards. So it's a Jon Snow situation that we're voting on here. Are you voting emotion or a lot of blood?
A lot of blood.
A lot of blood. So much blood.
So much blood. And shield versus bow and arrow, which is a unique fight.
Yeah. When Ramsey's like, fight me, coward, Jon's like, okay. All right, so let's hear for Ygritte versus Jon Snow. Jon Snow versus Ramsey. Where was this room when we were doing best episodes and like no one really cared about Battle of the Bastards? Is my all right, so we've got we're in the next round now. We've got Bran versus Spider. This is a book one, right? Sam versus the White Walker. So Bran versus Spider.
Which
Sam.
is a bookish one.
Bookish. Spider and Slayer is what we're doing here. Okay, so Bran versus Spider. Sam the Slayer! This is a tough House Mormont bracket. Fuck you, Dave.
We all knew it was coming. Round 2's getting a lot tougher.
It's Jorah's last stand versus Liana's last stand. So, I know, he's the worst. Okay, so.
There's only going to be one winner at the end anyway.
All right.
What happened to Oberyn versus the Mountain?
Oh, it's still here.
Okay.
Are you pointing from the top or pointing from the bottom?
The top?
I mean, Oberyn versus the Mountain is going up against the choice pick coming up here.
Oh.
I thought we were in the second round.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, we got cards confused. All right, so Oberyn versus the Mountain. Thank you so much for reminding me that my pick hasn't been done yet. And nor has Neil's. Versus hot pie versus testicles.
Some two orbs pop in both situations. Thank you, we'll be here all day.
I mean, that one at least makes sense.
So I cannot stress this enough. This hot pie fight never happened. Versus my pick.
Which some of us wish didn't happen.
Everyone cried. Okay? So let's hear it for hot pie versus testicles. Yeah! Oberyn versus the Mountain. All right, then we have two hound fights. We've got Bran versus the Hound versus the Game Bull. All right, so no. Well, Dave did.
Oh, can't I?
So we've got, let us hear it for Bran versus the Hound. Stop. Throwing this election, at least. Versus the Game Bull. Get high. All right, let's go back to House Mormont last stand. So we've got Jorah's last stand versus Liana versus the Giant. So Jorah's guts, Liana's stab in the eyeball. All right, so let's hear it for Jorah! Let's hear it for the little bear! All right, Battle of Wits, Tywin versus Olenna versus Arya and the Waif. So, like, a lot of beatings over a long period of time versus just like bar, wit, snark, all right? So, Tywin versus Olenna. fight.
So many.
No, we're in the end game now-ish. All right, chicken fight versus the Bran and Arya spar. So the Hound and Arya fighting people over chicken versus Bran and Arya sparring. Dave's an asshole for doing this one, so let's hear it for chicken fight. Spar. Chicken fight.
All the chickens.
All right. Bran, Jaime, bear. You remember. Cersei, septic explosion. You remember that too. All right. So let's hear it for the bear and the maiden fair. Septic explosion. Bear took it over the septic explosion. Love you guys. All right. Jon Snow versus that Dusty Walker when we found out how Valyrian steel works. Hodor versus the door. So it's some like White Walker bullshit that we're voting on here. So, Jon versus the White Walker. Hodor versus the door. All right, alley fight. Barristan, Sons of Harpies versus White Hunt, W-I-G-H-T, Hunt. So let's hear it for alley fight. Let's hear it for White Hunt. Yeah. All right. The slap of Joffrey, Tyrion slapping Joffrey versus Bronn versus Servatus around the Moon Door. So the Moon Door fight versus Tyrion. So it's some Tyrion stuff happening here. All right. So let's hear it for Bronn. Let's hear it for the Joffrey slap. Then we've got some a long night duo here. We've got Arya and just Arya versus the Night King, only Arya versus the Night King. And then we've got the Dance of Dragons, Drogon Rhaegal versus Zombie Viserion. All right, so let us hear it for Dance of Dragons. Arya versus the Night King. Sansa v. Ramsey. George versus Writer's Block. Here we go. We're going to zip through these. So, Sansa versus Ramsey. George versus Writer's Block. Jon Snow versus Ramsey. Shield. Head caved in. Brienne versus the Hound. Biting. Cliffs. So, let's hear it for Jon Snow versus Ramsey. Brienne versus the Hound. I knew I should have gone to breakfast. All right, so Sam the Slayer, Sam defeats the White Walker versus Oberyn versus the Mountain. So, okay, the Mountain and the Viper. So let's hear it for the Red Viper of Dorne. Sam versus the White Walker.
Yeah, you can go and pass it off if you want.
No, let's keep going. All right, so Liana.
No.
Here, can you do these?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Liana versus the Giant. Tywin versus Olenna. Let's hear it for Liana versus the Giant. Let's hear it for the classics, Tywin versus Olenna.
I'm so sorry. I have to go because I have to go interview Miltos on the main stage, but please tell me how this all
Which one
panned
won
out.
that last one?
This
You gotta make the hard calls now, Neil. I'm bracketing over here.
Tywin and Olenna. All right. We have the Bear and the Maiden Fair versus Hodor and the Door. Mm-hmm. So let's hear it for the Bear and the Maiden Fair. Let's hear it for Hodor versus the Door. I think we're gonna make an executive decision here.
Okay, do it.
There's too many. All right, we're gonna do chicken fight versus Barristan's alley fight. Let's go chicken fight. So Barristan. Let's do one final one. Okay. That's like a bunch of them.
Oh, one final one that's a bunch of them? Give me one of these.
He's got the end sign up.
Alright, actually give me one of these first. And then
Okay.
Then we'll do it.
Alright, the last semifinal. Joffrey's slap versus Arya and the Night King. Tiny people. Joffrey's slap! Arya and the Night King. Alright, Dave, your greatest challenge. Give us one list.
Oh, one list.
Or,
No, I'm gonna give you 3 additional rounds. And we're still gonna be on time. It's gonna be good.
It's okay, we're the next panel.
That's good. Alright, here's 2 of your final 3.
Okay, 2 of the final 3. George versus Writer's Block versus Brienne and the Hound. What? Alright, let's hear it for George and his Writer's Block. Versus Brienne and the Hound. Alright, Oberyn in the Mountain versus Tywin and Olenna. Oberyn in the Mountain! Tywin and Olenna. Those two.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I think those guys are gonna come get us soon. They're very mad. Alright, this is this it?
And then these two face off against each other.
Okay.
Sorry, there are too many good fights.
Alright, we're just gonna do all 5 of these at once. Here are your 5 choices. Dave, you have to listen.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna close
Arya and the Night King, Hodor versus the Door, Arya and the Hound over chickens, Brienne versus the Hound, or Oberyn and the Mountain.
Oh my god, okay.
This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Do the right thing, people.
Let's hear it for Arya versus the Night King. Okay.
Loud, passion.
Let's hear it for Hodor versus the Door. Great. Okay.
Maybe 1-to-1 brackets is making this harder.
Yeah, chicken fight. Okay, so it's just really these 2. Let's hear it for Oberyn versus the Mountain. Let's hear it for Brienne versus the Hound.